Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's Brian here. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're all doing well. I'm not doing particularly bad. I guess happy late 4th of July to you. It's a day late. I'm a day late and a dollar short, but yeah, happy 4th of July to you. I hope everyone had a happy holiday on the 4th of July and hope you just had a good day in general. So in this video, as you can see by the title and thumbnail, I'm going to be talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise as, particularly the future of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. And not only am I going to talk about the future of the franchise, but I'm also going to give 3 ideas that I have that I think could revitalize this franchise, or at least get one more, maybe decent movie out of it. And so, without further ado, let's jump right into this video. Oh, and before we begin, as always, please like, share, comment, and please subscribe. Let's get right into it. Alright, everyone, so the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise is what a franchise. I mean, it's got at 9 films under its belt. Leatherface he's gotten around. Leatherface is the main villain. Leatherface is in the Big Five. The Big Five villains. He's one of the most iconic villains. He's in the Big Five villains with Freddy, Jason, Michael, Chucky, and then Leatherface. Those are the top 5 that everyone knows who they are. Well, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise, I'll give you a little bit of history on it before I start talking about other things in it. It was launched in 1974. Technically 1973 it came out. It was widely released in 1974. And then it had a sequel in 1986, another sequel in 1990, another sequel in 1995, and then there was a remake in 2000, then a prequel to the remake in 2006, then a direct sequel in 2013, then there was a prequel to that direct sequel and the original in 2017, then they did another direct sequel to the original in 2022. The franchise has bumped over a bit. I mean, it's had its ups, it's had its downs, the original is mostly known as a classic, as one of the most horrifying films ever. Gunnar Hansen, the 1974 version. Part 2 is also another classic movie that's beloved. I mean, it's a more zany, dark comedy, kind of bonkers out there. Part 3 is kind of known as the forgettable one. It's very serious, kind of boring one. I liked Part 3, though. I mean, people criticize Part 3, but I really liked Part 3. In fact, the first 3 I love. Part 4 is usually known as the most hated one. It's the one with Matthew McConaughey. It's the really bonkers one. It's just really stupid one. You have the remake, which is I'm not a huge fan of the remake or the prequel to the remake, but it is a pretty popular one in the franchise that people like. You have the direct sequel that, the first direct sequel, the Texas Chainsaw 3D, it's alright. And then you have the prequel, which also had some alright parts, and then the another requel, which was the Netflix version, which had some alright parts, but then wasn't good too. Now, honestly, in my personal fan opinion, I like all the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. There's stuff I can find in all of them, and that I like. Except for Part 4. Part 4 is the only one that I cannot find nothing that I like in. Part 4 is horrible. Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation, or The Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, depending on where you are in the world when it was released. So yeah, it was. Part 4 was definitely horrible, but all the others, the original, all the sequels, the reboot, the direct sequels, the prequel, I can find stuff that I like in it. You know what I mean? Like, there's stuff I can actually find, like, maybe a character I like, or maybe a kill I like, or maybe just the tone or something that I like. Sorry, my cat is being my cat. But anyways, there's stuff I can find about it that I like in each one of them. There's some I like more. Particularly the first 3 are my favorite. I think after Part 3, they're not all good. I mean, I do like Chainsaw 3D too, but I don't. Particularly the first 3 I like, and I don't really like afterwards. But you know what? I can find good in all of them. I mean, the original is a cult classic. I take a lot of heat for this. My personal favorite is Part 2. I get it. The original one is the scariest and everything, but Part 2 to me is the most entertaining. And I've actually met the actors from Parts 2 and Part 3. Bob Elmore played Leatherface in Part 2, then R.A. Mihailoff, who played Leatherface in Part 3. I just met him actually a little over a month ago, close to 2 now, back in May. But yeah, and I've actually talked to Brett Wagner on the phone about a potential movie idea that I have. Brett Wagner is the lost Leatherface. He's one of the 2 guys that played Leatherface in the remake. He's the guy that got hurt. But anyways, back to the conversation. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise, it ended in 2022. So, it started in 1974. You got a sequel in 1986, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Got another sequel in 1990, another one in 1995, then a remake in 2003, a prequel to the remake in 2006, then it got a requel in 2013, then a prequel to the original in 2017, then another requel in 2022. The franchise ended in 2022 with the Netflix version. Well, the rights are back up for auction, and for sale. And there's a few different rich people and a few different studios battling for these rights. It's a franchise that everyone gets their rights on. The part 9, I guess you call it. It actually did pretty well. Had pretty good money making for Netflix, but it wasn't too critically reviewed too well. So that's why I don't think Netflix is going to go through a sequel. Oh, there's a number of ideas talking about sequels and another direct sequel. I don't know why they want to keep doing direct sequels. Like, stop trying to be Halloween 2018 and Halloween H2O. Like, they need to stop with that. But anyways, there's all these ideas. So I figured I would give my ideas on how to revitalize the franchise and how to sort of rebirth the franchise, and I'll give you, my thoughts on it. And here are 3 ideas. Now, I have a number of them. I'm an inspiring film director and stuff, but like, here are my ideas, and here's what I would do if I was a writer and director and a producer on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. So first things first, of what you could do is a total remake of the franchise. So I'm talking like just totally rebooting it. A new Leatherface, a new timeline, a new Leatherface family. Don't tie it into any of the movies, any of the original franchise. Just a brand new Leatherface. Just a very serious film. Just a total remake. No direct sequels, no prequels, no alternate timelines. Not just a totally new Leatherface, totally different franchise. A new timeline. I think that's one way you could do it. And what you could do is you could just a brand new Leatherface. So what you could do is you could cast the Blue Meanie, Brian Hawkins, and you could cast him as Leatherface. He's got the build, he's got the height, which I also met him too. I just like talking about that. But you could cast him as Leatherface in a totally new franchise, and you could literally have Jenna Ortega be the final girl. Oh, now I'm not going to get into like a huge details because we don't have enough time in this video, but like you could do it like a setup of like where there's a college girl that is, moving off to college with her parents, and her 2 parents are taking her to school across the state of Texas, and, they end up getting caught into this family, maybe, some new characters, a new mom and a new dad for Leatherface, and then Leatherface, give him a green look. This is just a toy. I couldn't find a green Leatherface, but, like, I just like to see a green Leatherface costume, maybe, like, give him a green look, and then you could, cast the Blue Meanie as Leatherface, and, have Jenna Ortega in it, and maybe call it just the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre Blood, or something like that, and just, make a really gory remake film. Maybe get Damien Leone from the Terrifier franchise to direct it, like a very serious film, just a remake, a flat-out good old remake. That's one direction you could take. Now, my other idea, my second one, is to bring back in the picture R.A. Mihailoff of Leatherface from Part 3. So initially, the first timeline, and the first 3 films. So parts 1, 2, and 3, which Part 3 you could argue doesn't take place in the same universe parts 1 and 2, but it technically does. But like set it up to where it takes place like after Part 3. You do a storyline of what happened in Part 3, and you say, oh well, you do the Sally Harvestine storyline from 1974, then you talk about Stretch's storyline, then you talk about Kate Hodges and Ken Forays from Part 3. You do a little timeline, and then you say, 35 years later, or down the road, it takes place in 2025 or whenever the movie comes out, and then that's when you could do this sort of new cast. And then you gotta, if you're gonna do this timeline, you gotta bring back R.A. Mihailoff, which I got to meet him too. Awesome guy. You gotta bring R.A. back. He's getting older now, so he may need a stunt that would help him out, but like, you gotta bring R.A. You just have to. But you bring R.A. back. Maybe even you bring back Caroline Williams from Part 2. And then you bring back Chop Top. Bill Moseley as Chop Top. You bring him back. You have Chop Top and Leatherface back. And then you do the whole timeline like this. As you do it in the sense of maybe a storyline of like this. You could do Jenna Ortega in this too. Jenna Ortega could be the final girl. But you have this girl. This film could be a little zany, just like Part 2. But you have this girl. Maybe we'll just call her Kate. It's played by Jenna Ortega, and then she's going with her 2 twins. They are identical twins, but they're best friends too. Sabrina Carpenter plays one, and Sydney Sweeney plays another one. And the 3 of them are heading to this, so you want to make it zany, to this big weed party out in Dallas, Texas. And, oh, there's a bunch of other stoners, a bunch of other young people. First time actors, you give Allison Patel from Screen Build a cameo, like just a bunch of different people, and they end up at this weed party, and they're all partying, and then somehow old Leatherface and Chop Top show up. It shows that Chop Top's alive, and they start picking people off one by one. You could do it like this. They have to weed the party in the abandoned theme park from part 2, and it takes place after part 3. Maybe you bring back the character, Jennifer Banco's character. That's something you could do. You could have one of these blonde girls, maybe Sydney Sweeney, play Jennifer Banco's grown daughter of Leatherface, Ace, and just have them in it. And then like Caroline Williams shows up to battle Chop Top and Leatherface, and maybe you get Jesse Ventura to be some bounty hunter, or to come with her, and you can include the Blue Meanie in that. Jesse Ventura and the Blue Meanie, and they show up with Stretch to battle Leatherface and Chop Top, and Jennifer Banco's character, little girl. Oh, and you just do something like that. You do a zany kind of field film. Yeah, I'd love that. I'd love to see, Sabrina Carpenter and Sydney Sweeney and Jenna Ortega all on the screen. I'd love to see R.A. back as Leatherface, and maybe the Blue Meanie and Jesse Ventura or something as the Blue Meanie is a hitman who's working with Stretch, and see Bill Moseley back as Chopped Up. I think that'd be freaking awesome. That's my second idea. I know it's zany and it's probably never happened, but like, that'd be awesome. That's what I would do. My third idea is an animated Leatherface. Now, I know that sounds stupid. Oh, you can't animate the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. I say, why not? Why can't you animate it? Get someone to do the grunts and yells of Leatherface and animate it. Do an animated series of it. Maybe do like, I don't know, 8-10 episodes. Where there's a different kind of Tales of the Crypt kind of thing, but it's an animated Leatherface and an animated family that maybe Leatherface has a different family in each one, and, different Leatherface story, different encounters of Leatherface. Do a TV series. Animated TV series. Just as basic as that, get some voice actors in there, maybe Mark Hamill, Robert Englund, and, yeah, of the TV series. Animated TV series. Thoughts? Alright, everyone. Well, that is my 3 ideas for revitalizing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. Let me know your thoughts on them. Which one would you go with? I mean, honestly, I'm gonna have to say the remake is the best idea. The remake is just, the most realistic idea to revitalize the franchise. Just a new Leatherface, a new family, a new final girl. But yeah, just let me know your thoughts on it. I mean, I'd love to see any of these 3 ideas come to life. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on it. And just give me a general gist. Would you like to see Jenna Ortega battle out with Leatherface? Ace, and if you could see any of the living Leatherface actors come back to play Leatherface again one last time, who would it be and why? Alright, everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. As always, is like, share, comment, favorite this video, tell a friend about this video, and most importantly, please, please, please subscribe. We're at 251 subscribers. Thank you all so much. I truly appreciate it. So that's going to be it for this video. God bless you all. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next video. And look out for Leatherface. Bye, everyone.